welcome to yet another edition of the Halal Food Podcast. Today we've got a guest from SMIIC in Turkey, and he's going to help us to discuss a few things regarding to ingredients that Muslim consumers or halal consumers should be wary of when they buying products. So today we'll just take a look at a few products. So before then, I'm going to invite Dr. Ali to introduce himself briefly so that we start the podcast. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Dr. Awal. My name is Mohammed Ali Alsheikh. I am doctor in clinical pharmacy. The last 15 years, I'm working in the halal field. Starting from my PhD, I make my PhD in halal pharmaceutical. Then I joined SMIIC in the last 6 years. I'm working in SMIIC as technical assistant for the halal food, halal cosmetic, and halal pharmaceutical committees. So alhamdulillah, have good experience about these fields and what is the latest issues in this field, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ali. First of all, before we even start, I wanted to ask you a question. Why did you decide to specialize in pharmaceutical that is related to halal? Because I have been in the halal sector for a while now. I've never come across somebody who specialized in pharmaceutical. Why did you take that route?
I am pharmacist. This is number one.
Yeah.
In pharmacy, actually, when you study pharmacy, since my degree time, we have some medicine which is contain alcohol, which is contain some material which is not halal.
Yeah.
So I already start to have an idea about this one. But when I traveled to Malaysia,
Yeah.
I discovered that there is many issues related to the halal pharmaceutical. And in Malaysia, they are well developed in term of halal in general. And alhamdulillah, during my PhD, I met my supervisor who also experienced in halal pharmaceutical, Professor Zahari and Professor Sayed. Both of them is working in halal pharmaceutical. So alhamdulillah, all of these leading me to specialize in halal pharmaceutical. And alhamdulillah, as you said, I am one of the few people who is around the world who's working in this field because it's still new until now.
Yeah.
It's like you study computer science in 1960.
Yeah.
Something that have a future, but no one can touch it real now.
Yeah. It's interesting you said halal pharmaceutical or halal pharmacy is a relatively new area that is developing. But a consumer may be wondering, look, Muslims have been accepting capsules, vaccines, and other pharmaceutical products for millennia, for years. Why now? Why did we not start years ago and starting now? Is it that what we were taking were okay, or is just that new product development has come to our attention that can affect halal? Why do you think we've not been in the field for 100 years?
Actually, we are in the field from long time.
Okay.
When I start to study about halal pharmaceutical, I read the old fiqh book and the old science book.
Yeah.
I find an interesting statement for Al-Bayruni. Al-Bayruni, famous Muslim scholar, and he is a famous one in nature and science.
Okay.
At that time, he complained that Muslim people consume medicine which contain non-halal, and they should find alternative for the non-halal medicine.
Wow.
This is in around 1,000 years ago.
MashaAllah.
And at that time, they tried to find alternatives. And if in the fiqh book also, you can find people who said that this one alcohol, we should find alternative. Alcohol is not khamar, is not medicine, and we should find another medicine. So from long time, Muslim people discuss this thing in the fiqh book. And at that time, we have alternative. But during the last 500, 600 years, we are in not in the leading area of the medicine.
Yeah.
We are very back. So at this time, we are back. So we still start to consume, not to produce. And in the last 200 years, also a lot of new medicine come, new techniques come. So we start to find. Actually, I find also during my study, I find that the first halal pharmaceutical conference seminar happened in Arabic country was in 1980.
Okay.
This is also old enough, but the effort is not much enough to reflect in the market.
Yeah.
It's like academic effort, not still until now something reflecting the market. So inshallah, this time we can reach something and change something in the market.
Absolutely. Again, another question has come to my mind. We haven't started properly into our podcast. How do you think we can encourage the younger Muslims to go into pharmacy? How can we encourage them to go into pharmacy?
Yani pharmacy is a good field. There is a lot of Muslim students go as pharmacists. A lot of them go to medicine. A lot of them go to engineering. But the problem, how you can serve Islam by these sciences,
Okay.
how to apply Islam in these sciences.
Yeah.
Actually, Islam is everywhere, and you should know what is related to your field
Yeah.
from the Islamic point of view. As pharmacist,
Yeah.
I am in direct contact with the Muslim people.
Mm-hmm.
So I should look for the fiqh of pharmacy, fiqh of medicine. And
Mashallah.
alhamdulillah, now I start also to study more fiqh just to improve myself in this point, to have yani, regular studying in Sharia to improve myself in the halal pharmaceutical.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I'm happy you mentioned that the fact that there are so many Muslim doctors, there are so many Muslim pharmacists, but we also need to use our knowledge. I am a meat scientist as well. I did agriculture in my first degree. I did meat science in my master's and animal welfare in my PhD. But what I'm trying to do is use that conventional knowledge, apply it to halal so that it can help Muslim brothers and sisters. So thank you for highlighting that. Now, my first question in terms of ingredients and things that we use in products that may not be halal, I want us to first of all look at cheese, for instance. If I go to the market and buy cheese, should I just assume is halal, or do you think there are some products, some ingredients that go into cheese, or some manufacturing stages that may affect the halal status of cheese? So first of all, let's just discuss cheese.
Yes, yani, cheese one of the critical food uh, and widely used food around the world.
Yeah.
Yes, it's halal critical. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, he eat cheese when he go to Tabuk, Ghazwat Tabuk. He was near the border of the Roman Empire, and at that time they give him some cheese as gift, and he eat it at that time. And some fiqh people speak about rennet in our
Right.
fiqh book from long time. So
Yeah.
to change meat, to change milk from its liquid status to solid status, you need enzyme. This enzyme, people from long time bring it from the stomach of the animal. Okay, this animal may be halal. This animal sometimes it's not halal. So the source of the enzyme will be yani decide if this animal, if this cheese is
Correct.
halal or not. This is the main critical point in the cheese. Okay, the majority of the rennet now, يعني half from porcine, half from the bovine source. So we cannot decide. Now there is another type of the enzyme, which is microbial enzyme.
Yeah.
Microbial enzyme is enzyme produced by microbes. And in this case, we have another challenge,
Okay.
how this microbial enzyme growth. Because in the, if you are looking for culture media, this bacteria will grow in culture media. What
Yeah.
is the ingredient of this culture media? According to the halal regulation, it shall be free from the najis. This
Okay.
culture media shall be free from the najis. Sometimes we have the culture media contains some blood, contains some peptone, which is come from dead animal. This one must we check for this one. So the most critical one is the enzyme rennet, number one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other things, the processing of the cheese, how they make this cheese. Okay. So sometime in the factory, they have different technique for making the cheese.
Yeah.
Some famous cheese in Europe, they use the same brine water for long time. So the same water and salt, they keep it from 20, 50 years,
Ooh.
the water and
Yeah.
salt. And it's make some special taste for the cheese. But now when we come for halal certification, we don't know the source of the brine at that time, what is the enzyme they use at that time. This is make us another question for the halal. Some type of the cheese, especially in Europe also, you have origin certificate. Some cheese have origin certificate. That means this cheese from only from this region in Italy, only this one.
Yeah.
They have some regulation. It must be made from porcine source. Okay, and this is also make some halal critical issues for our cheese.
Okay.
This is in general for cheese. For yogurt, we are looking for the starter for the bacteria which produce the yogurt. Also, this bacteria sometimes it's come from non-halal culture media.
Yeah.
And you cannot imagine that's all of these bacteria and starter, which is give us some special taste.
Yeah.
And make different taste between one cheese and another. The majority of them not produced in Muslim country and produced in non-Muslim country. So we don't know the source for them. This is
that's
idea about.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that you've mentioned that many people, many Muslims will just assume that cheese is automatically halal, but from what you're saying, that is not the case. Is there, what's the safest way? If I am a cheese processor, what's the safest way to do it? Should I go for halal certificate, and will all the halal certifiers make sure my rennet is halal, or could there be differences in halal certificate?